Good morning, welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make challah today. Something that I love doing. I love making it. I love the smell of it when it's baking, and of course I love eating it. I always like to count my ingredients. So with challah there are 7. I always start with the liquid ingredients. You've got water, oil, the eggs, then you've got sugar, salt, flour, and yeast. So make sure you have all 7 ingredients while you're baking. Make sure they're all set ahead of time. First thing we'll do is I'll show you how to do the yeast if you're going to do it with the active dry yeast, which is traditional if you're using Fleischmann's. So I've got 1/3 of a cup of water. I'm going to put into it a teaspoon of sugar. And I'm going to put 1 package, about a tablespoon of this yeast in here. We'll do something called proofing, which is just giving it a quick stir. And the water should be a little warmer than your hand when you're testing it out. Because a smaller recipe calls for 1 1/3 cups of water, I put 1/3 of a cup of water in with the yeast, and hopefully it'll bubble up, which means that it will be fresh yeast. If it doesn't bubble up, nothing's going to work. Aside from making a bracha over challah, which typically you would do if you make it the full recipe of the 12 cups of flour, which is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahafrish challah, which means you're separating, you're making it special, you're invoking God if that's something that you like to do. Or another thing that I learned is to think about people special in your life, maybe somebody who might be ailing, or just people you want to think about when you're making challah to make it special. And I tend to talk about my family members. The yeast has indeed bubbled up. I don't know if you can tell now. And we can start making our challah. In this cup, I've got my other cup of water for the 1 1/3 cups of water. I've added the 1/3 of a cup of oil with it, and I've warmed it up a bit just to get the chill off of it. I tend to like doing that. I just think it just adds to the yeast and everything else. Shouldn't be too hot because that won't be very good. It'll kill the yeast. So I'm going to put in here the 1/3 cup of water and the 1/3 of a cup of oil into a bowl. And I'll put in the 1/3 of a cup of sugar. I'm just going to put a teaspoon of salt in and do it over a sink, over the cup you stopped using, and then put that in. Give it a stir. I've got my 2 eggs that I've cracked, and I will lightly, beat them. You don't want to make them frothy, just kind of mix them up a bit. And then I'll dump that into everything else. And here they go. I'll give that a stir. And I'll add the yeast mixture. Here we go. And once it's bubbled up, you're good to go. And now flour. So flour, start off with 3 cups to start with. Get that all mixed up nicely. Temperature and atmospheric pressure, all the kind of stuff. Weather, I think, does impact the challah. Sometimes it makes it fluffier or heavier. My challah is not consistent, I'll tell you right now. So I'm not a perfectionist. I just like doing it. I'd say 99% of the time it usually works out, but I'm just kind of stirring it up. Nothing really spectacular. You can go one direction, you can go the other direction, just get all the flour incorporated. And the 3 cups of flour will not make the dough, it'll be a little watery. I'll show you a picture in a second. It's just getting it started. You don't have to do 1 cup at a time. Once the 3 cups are in then, you might need more than, depending on the weather, like I said, you might need more than 4 cups of flour. It's pretty runny. So I've just added the 4th cup of flour, and I'll show you what it looks like now. I'm sure the pictures are really good, but you can tell that it's not so runny anymore. It's getting like a dough. And I've just used a fork. I haven't started kneading it yet, like really with my hands. I had 4 cups of flour. I've just added another half a cup right now. And now I'm gonna start using my hands. It's a little complicated because I'm not using both my hands. But usually what happens is I'm just using one hand and I'm gonna get the flour tucked underneath. So I've got flour over all the dough. And at some point I'll probably get it and I'll dump it out on the counter. But basically, you're just gonna keep turning it over and over and over. Use the heel of your hand. Again, don't be afraid of it. Feel free to punch it down. You can use both hands. Right now I'm just using one to show you. It's gonna be hard for me to show you with 2 hands. But as you can see, the flour is gonna be incorporated into the dough. And just keep going and just keep doing. So, you have your dough, and it feels really nice. Take a little bit of oil, and just coat it on your hands. And then just get the dough covered with oil. Place your oiled dough into the bowl, and then take a damp towel, tea cloth, whatever. Some people use saran wrap. I'm trying not to use too much saran wrap anymore in my house. So just a damp towel over top. Then once you cover it, you can leave it. I like to leave mine in the oven, but not on. So you can you just put the light on in the oven, is warm enough, for an hour and a half, and just let it do its thing. All right, so now the dough has risen, and ta-da, it's more than doubled, and it's beautiful today. The dough is beautiful. So it's gonna come out of the dough, and just realize that it doesn't always happen perfectly like this. Today just happens to be a great day, and it's worked out beautifully. My hands are washed, I've wiped down the countertop again. So now you just get your dough together. If it's too sticky, just add a bit more flour until it feels, like a dough. We'll make 2. The first one I'll do is a 3 braid challah. And if I go too fast, it's like braiding hair or whatever. I guess you can just YouTube it somewhere else. So you take the 3, and the best way to do it is using your fingertips. And some people tend to do it like this, but I was taught it's better to do it like this. And again, I'm not a perfectionist, so my strands may not alternate perfectly. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. Just use your fingers, and I don't do, a lot of people taper their ends. I don't bother. It'll be delicious. I guess it's like left over right, right over left with the one in the middle, and try and keep them fairly tight together. You pinch them, put at the bottom, and then some people pinch at the top. I like to finish it backwards. I don't know, I've been doing that lately. Wow. Now I'll put it on my baking sheet, which is always best with parchment. If you don't have any, just you can use tinfoil, spray it with some ham or a little bit of oil. Put it on your baking sheet. And now I'm going to brush it with egg wash, which is in the recipe, it's like an egg yolk and probably, I don't know, call it 1 eggshell of water. Mix it really well with the force, it's all done. And if you don't have a pastry brush, don't worry about it. You can just use your fingers, and it's all just fine. And I'll put the streusel on this one. And here we go. Just sprinkle it on top. And I only use streusel at Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, at the fall holidays. Just because it's special. And I gave you the recipe for the streusel. So now with the other half, we'll do a 4 braid challah. And basically you just cut it into 4 pieces. And we'll do the same thing, rolling it out as we did with the 3 braid challah. I take the left one and I put it over the middle, and then it goes under the next one and over the last one. And start again at the left. So you go left over, you can do 1 over 2, 2 over under 3, and then 1 over 4. I totally messed you up. But anyways, start again. So the left goes over the next one, and then it goes under the next one and over the next one. So basically, always hold on to the one on the left. That's the one you're moving around. So it's over, under, over, under, over, and then just pinch them and stick them on the bottom, and then you can pinch that one. So it's a little, and again, if you want to make it tapered, you can make it tapered. And whenever you decorate the challah, always make sure it's on the cookie sheet first, always. So I'll wash it again with the egg wash. You don't need a lot. It just helps the topping stick a bit better. And if you don't want to brush it, you don't have to. It just comes out just not glazed. A beautiful jar of mixed poppy seeds and sesame seeds to get a different look, a different taste if you like that kind of thing. But you can also put on caraway seeds, you can put on, I don't know, whatever you want. Chili powder, have a good time, do whatever you want. You can also use this brown sugar. So now we'll pop these in the oven, and after 30 to 35 minutes, I'll show you the finished product.